If you're a walker, we will accept you into the building. We'll welcome you here anytime from 7 o'clock to 7:25. We really want you to be here, you know, around 7:10, 7:15 is a good time to get here. If you're a walker, you're going to go right in the front door. If you're a busser, the bus is going to drop you off right in front of the building, and everybody enters the main entrance, which is right behind me. This is the main entrance to Case, so we're going to come in here. If you are a walker, we really want you to try and get here. You know, if you're going to eat breakfast, we would like you here right at 7 o'clock, because then you can get in, have your breakfast, and have plenty of time to eat. If you're not going to eat breakfast, you know, 7:15 is a really good time to get here, because we're going to go in the building. And the first thing you will do every day is when you come in the building, you'll probably see Mr. Taylor or Mrs. Blair, and we are going to greet you and say, we're going to have a great day at Case Middle School, because every day is a great day at Case Middle School. We're that way. And you're going to go into cafeteria and you're going to have breakfast. If you are not going to eat breakfast, main entrance. And then you are going to go into the gymnasium to have a seat while we wait for all the rest of our Case Middle School friends to come here. And the gymnasium is right in this door, right here. And we got a big, beautiful gym. If you've never been in this building before, it's an awesome gym. We've got 2 sets of bleachers. We've got a big space to play. And I can't wait. If you haven't been here, this is a pretty awesome place. But you'll go in the bleachers, you'll sit, socially distanced, of course. That's where we will be using all the bleachers. And then at 7:25, the bell will ring and we will release you, and then you will go to your homerooms. Now, a lot of you, I know, some of you have asked, well, I don't know where my homeroom is. Well, either tomorrow you will be receiving a Parent Square invite, or your homeroom teacher will be calling you and saying, hello, my name is Mr. Taylor and I'm in room 211. That's the only number you need to remember, is your homeroom number. That's it, because you don't have your schedule yet. We were going to give your schedules tonight, but you don't have them yet. And so you need to just try and remember where your homeroom number is. If you forget, which you might, we will have plenty of staff here in the main entrance that can help you according to your last name. They'll find out where your homeroom is and they will guide you to that place. So that being said, we've come in. We've either had breakfast or we've gone in the gymnasium at the beginning. After people are done with breakfast, they will come also go and sit in the gymnasium. So everybody's going to leave the gymnasium at once on the first day, and we're going to go to our homerooms. That will happen every day. That's not going to change. But I know a lot of you are a little nervous about, well, with my schedule and whatever, I don't know where to go. Well, in your homeroom, you will get your schedule. Your homeroom teacher will give you a couple different things. Your homeroom teacher is going to give you an agenda book. And this has a nice calendar in it. It's got, you know, so you can keep track of whatever assignments and things you need to be working on. It also has a piece of this. It's very important because it's going to help you. You're going to need it to get to any of your classes. You will need a pass out of this. So you always want to have your Chromebook or your agenda book with you. Agenda is one thing you want to have with you at all times. And you're also going to want to have a Chromebook. Some of you might say, well, Mr. Taylor, I don't have my Chromebook because I had to turn it back in. Well, we are going to be giving you another Chromebook to keep for the course of this year, at least. But something very important needs to happen before you get that Chromebook. We have sent out on Parent Portal an electronic Chromebook agreement form. Many of your parents have already filled this out and you sent it right in, and electronically, we already have your name checked off on your list. Some of you have not done this yet. If you have not done this yet, right on this link that you were able to log into to get to this webinar is also that, again, that agreement. You can click on that. Mom or dad or whoever takes care of you at home can sign off on that electronically. If you don't do that on the first day of school, you will not get a Chromebook to take home with you. All right, we need this agreement. And if you don't do that on the first day of school, your homeroom teacher is going to give you a hard copy. Your homeroom teacher is going to give you this, and then you bring that home, bring it back the next day, signed, saying, I agree to take care of this Chromebook. And then on the second day, we will give you a Chromebook. All right, to have. We need this agreement either electronically or a hard copy before you can take a Chromebook home. And a Chromebook is going to be, yet again, very important part of your educational process this year. So we need to get that done. So make sure. Also, in your homeroom, like I said, you're going to get a planner. That's going to be there. And your homeroom teacher is going to have several forms. One of the forms is a food form. And again, this year, I don't know what the program's called, but it's something that means we're all going to get free breakfast and free lunch. You will get one free breakfast and one free lunch every day. But the food service director, Mrs. Hughes, has asked, there's a sheet here that has some family information as far as what your family income is. And she asked that you fill that out and send that back in. That just makes it so that we're able to be entitled to get the free food for everybody each year. There's also a green sheet along with this that says lunches are $2.75. That's only if you want your son or daughter to get a second lunch. That's how much it's going to cost. And there's a way to do that online. And there's information there for you to find that out. Because some people put money on an account or whatever because they're like, my son always eats 2 lunches. I have to have another lunch. No worries. We can set that up for you. First lunch is free. Second lunch, you got to pay for. Same with breakfast. If you have any questions, you can reach out to Mrs. Hughes and the food service staff. They will help you out. There is also an acceptable use form, which says I'm going to not only take care of my Chromebook, but I'm going to use it in an acceptable manner. There is a yellow, another form that's signed about like permission slips in case we're going to go on field trips within the county and stuff like that. And if you don't want your child to be photographed, that's another form that you need to look over. And the last thing you're going to get is a student handbook that's got all of our rules and regulations here and policies and procedures at Case Middle School. So that's a lot of stuff you're going to get from your homeroom. But fortunately for you, on the first day, you will be spending about a couple hours with your homeroom teacher. They're going to go over a bunch of that stuff, but they are also going to take you on a tour of the building. And they're going to walk through the whole building, which we're going to do right now. I'm going to be on the first floor, and then Mrs. Blair is going to go on the second floor. So right now, you know, one of the places in this building we have is an auditorium, which right now there's like Chromebooks in there because we're getting ready to bring them out. But sometimes if you have a study hall, there we go. If you have a study hall, you know, that's where you're going to be. Sometimes your teacher might be absent and we might not have a sub. And if there's no sub, then there'll be a sign on your door saying, go to the auditorium. That's where the auditorium is. It's right next to the gymnasium. Straight ahead when you enter the building, a couple of important places. First of all, we have our clinic. Our clinic is right here. There it is. You can see it. It says a school clinic. It also says we also have a school-based health clinic, which I know a lot of you are probably familiar with. North Country Family Health Center runs that. They're here 3 days a week. And that's a great option. Even if you have a doctor or provider, sign up for that, because then maybe your kid can just go here if they've got a runny nose or something. This is where they're going to go. So we've got the clinic here with our school nurse and our LPNs. And we
Mr. Taylor, can you stop for just a second? Mr. Taylor, can you stop for just a second? From right where you're at, can you just turn your computer around and show everybody all the things they can see from just that one spot by the nurse? They should be able to see the office. They should be able to see the gym, the auditorium. Everything is right there in that main lobby if you do one little spin.
Right. Okay, so let me fix this. I can do that. All right. So over there is the main office. Right here. So this is the main office right here. This is the entrance where you came in right there. This is the staircase. Can you see that? Yeah, main staircase. Then as we go around, we got a hallway down there. We have the music room and the chorus room. We got the auditorium. We got the gym. This is the hallway that leads down to the locker rooms and the back of the building. How about that? Is that better?
Perfect. Thank you.
What else you got for me, Miss Blair? You know what? While we're here, we'll go into the main office because this is where Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Griffin, our two main ladies, are. This is where Mrs. Smith sits. This is where Mrs. Griffin sits. Really, if you need anything, or if your parents need anything and they come into the building, these two will be able to help you out. We also have the guidance and attendance office that's down there. But if you need to go to guidance or attendance, you will go in another entrance, but it's all connected. So this is our main office. Yeah, and Mrs. Blair's office is there, and Mr. Taylor's office is down there. You guys dizzy yet? Feel like you're on a roller coaster ride? Probably. And Mrs. Blair, you stop me at any time because sometimes I get a little carried away. So we're going to just go over, take a quick look at the cafeteria down this hallway where you have breakfast and you'll have lunch. This is where you get your breakfast and lunch. We're going to come here, see? We're going to go in this way. A little busy here. So
just drop that Chromebook down a little bit. They can't really see.
Here. You're going to come.
Perfect.
Thank you. All right, so that's the lunch line and breakfast line. You will go in there. You'll get your lunch or breakfast. At breakfast, we're going to eat in here, which is the cafeteria, as much as we can. And then if we fill it up, we'll go into the gym. But during lunch time, you will eat in the gymnasium. So you'll go through the line, you'll go down in the hallway, you'll go over into the gymnasium, and you're going to sit in there so we have enough room to socially distance. Breakfast, lunch. Yeah, there we are. All right, go back up. Yeah. So just outside the cafeteria, where you can see we've got attendance and the guidance, the counseling officer, both right here. This is that entrance. All of you have either Mr. Van Warmer, depending on your last, Mr. Van Warmer, good one, Mrs. Van Warmer or Mr. Freeman. One of them are assigned to you, depending on the last name of your name, and that's where you enter there. All right, and we got some classrooms are down here on the first floor. And we're gonna go this way. As we walk down the hallway, it might seem confusing, but really this building is, a lot of you, if you are in band or chorus or for music, that's all on the first floor. And that is past the auditorium to your right, right? I'm not gonna walk down there, but you would go by, as you come into the building, you're gonna go by the auditorium, you're gonna go all the way down to the right, you're gonna go down this way, down this hallway, and that's band, chorus, or choir. Any of that stuff is there. Otherwise,
Mr. Taylor, they noticed the vending machines, and they were wondering if students are allowed to use the vending machines.
Of course they noticed the vending machines. And the vending machines are, they're water machines, and students, they can use the vending machines after school or before school, but it's only water. And the soda in there is not during school use. All right, that's good noticing though. So there's 3 sets of hallways. There's a main hallway right here, a main stairway right in the middle, and then there's a stairway on both sides. So we're gonna go up the stairs to the second floor right now to Mrs. Blair, and she's gonna take it away on the second floor.
Hi, everyone. So if you went up the stairwell where Mr. Taylor just was, you're going to come right here. Okay. And if you look in front of you, which I'll spin around here, you can see those blue things right over my shoulder there. Now, as we zoom in on those a little bit, they are directional signs that tell us what way we're going to go. Now, on my screen, they look backwards, as I think I have this like the mirror image or something, but they don't look backwards when you're really here. So, all right, I know that room 201 to 210 is down that way. And also we have funny little 212 and 214. They got stuck in there too. And I also know that room 215 to 220 are going to be that way. And 211 and 13 are stuck on that way too. So very simple. I'm in the center of the hallway right now. I came up that main stairwell. I looked in front of me and I saw these neat little directional signs that told me how to find my classroom on the second floor. So if your classroom is a 200 number, it's going to be on floor number 2. If your classroom is a 300 number, it's going to be on floor number 3. And it's pretty simple how school to navigate because the floor only has one hall. It doesn't go anywhere else. It's just one hallway on each floor, and you either got to go that way or you got to go that way. Okay. While we're here on the second floor, we're in kind of the main lobby area. And on the second floor is where our library is. So I will take you over to the library just to take a quick peek. I'll drop you down a little bit. We have an awesome library. This is where our maker space is. Obviously a ton of books, and we have a 3D printer in here and some other technology available. So hopefully this is a place that students will want to come and do some maker space and some fun activities, use their Chromebooks, read some books. It's a pretty awesome library. It's absolutely gorgeous in here. And it's air conditioned when it's really hot in the summer. So if we have some heat in September, I'm sure that's where you're going to want to be. So on each floor, like I said, it's one hallway. And then at each end of the floor is a stairwell, and there's a stairwell right in the middle. Okay, so we will walk just this direction. If we came up the stairway and we turned right and decided to walk down the hall, yeah, you'll see some neat little paintings on the wall, some of our classrooms. If there are turns in the hallway, it's the only way you could go. Okay, so it really is just one hallway. And when you get all the way to the end, you find a stairwell. Now, also at each end of the hall, there is a water fountain station and a restroom area. So every floor has 2 bathrooms, one on each end, and 3 stairs, 1 in the middle and 1 on each end. Looks like my connection's getting unstable as I'm walking the halls, so I hope that you don't lose me. But I'll keep on trucking. I'm gonna get you just down to the end of the hall stairwell just so you can see what that looks like. Students, I just want to let you know you will find that main stairwell in the middle of the building. That's the most congested one. Most people use that. So sometimes you're going to find it's going to be beneficial to get to the end of the building and use the stairwells here. So I'm just at one end of the hallway. There's a stairwell. If I go backwards and I get to the middle, I'll find that other stairwell. And if I go all the way to the other end of the floor, then I'll find that other stairwell. But here I am overlooking Washington Street. It's a nice, beautiful view with some pine trees. Okay. Mr. Taylor, I am guessing you are up on the 3rd floor at this point, so I will let you take it away. While we are waiting for Mr. Taylor, actually, I see we have a Q&A. If anybody has a question, let me get out of this stairwell. It's a little echoey. Okay, if anybody does have a question, there is a Q&A on your screen that you can touch that and throw a question out and we will try to answer. Oh, here we go. They're rolling in. So will students be given a locker to use this year? Do we get to use lockers? So yes, you can look behind me right now. There are lots of lockers in this building. Okay, every student will be assigned a locker. All right, and your locker is actually going to be close to your homeroom. So when you get to your homeroom on Tuesday, that's going to be part of what you do at the beginning of the day. They're going to show you how to use your locker, how to use the combination, and they're going to be able to really help you out with that. So your homeroom person be real close to them because they're going to be very helpful for you and getting you going on the day. So every student will have a locker. You don't have to use your locker, but you will get a locker to use. You can use a backpack. You're going to want a backpack here because you need to carry around your Chromebook safely. So you should bring a backpack to carry your Chromebook around, and you might, especially when we have snow and stuff, want to put your winter coats and that kind of stuff in your lockers. What happens if we can't find our class? That's scary, isn't it? Actually, it's not scary at all. You just watched me pass about 10 classrooms. Okay, there's a teacher in each one of those classrooms, and a lot of the times they'll be standing out in the hallway. So there is always an adult around you, close by. They all want to help you. Okay, so please, 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 even if you don't know who that adult is, just say, hey, I'm looking for this teacher's class. Can you show me where it is? Or I'm looking for this number room. Can you tell me how to get there? They will help you. Okay, if you're really nervous, always just come back to that main stairwell, get down to the office. Mr. Taylor and I are in that office, and we will get you where you need to be, I promise. Will students be able to social distance during commute between classes in the hallway? So that's a good question. So we have 600 students walking around the building at a time, and they are going to all be expected to wear masks, and we need to make sure that mask is up over the nose and down under the chin, okay? We don't walk around with our masks like this, okay, or like this. Okay, when we are in the hallway, we will definitely have masks on. There is no social distancing in the hallways because it's such a short period of time. It's a three-minute period of time. So public health has determined that that is an appropriate time period where as long as they have masks on, they can safely get to the next class. How long do we have to get to each class? I just answered that. You have 3 minutes, which is really quick to get around this big building. And as long as you are pushing it to get to your next class, your teacher will understand if you're running in right there at the bell. It is okay. All right, three minutes is not a long time if you're going from the first floor up to the third in the other corner, but you can get there, you can do it, and your teachers are going to be very supportive. Do 8th graders have the same homeroom teacher? No, you will not have the same homeroom teacher, not likely anyways. It is a possibility, but no, it is not likely you'll have the same one. Will we get a supply list in the mail? Supply list went out on Parent Square, I believe a week ago. It is posted on the website. So if you go to watertowncsd.org and you click on Case Middle School and scroll all the way down, there is a Case Middle School supply list there. But really you don't need much. When you come on Tuesday, I would like you to have a backpack and a pen or a pencil. Can we carry supplies around with our backpacks? Yes, you can put your supplies in there. Are we playing dodgeball in gym? Well, that's up to Coach Williams and Mrs. Peters. How much classes do we have to switch to? There are 10 periods in a day. First period is actually your homeroom, and then you have 9 classes. One of those 9 classes will be your lunch. So really 8 classes that you switch to. Some people will have a study hall, some people will not. Do students change for PE, and are there uniforms, or do they bring their own shorts and t-shirts? Students do change for PE. They need comfortable clothes. Shorts and t-shirts are perfect. Sometimes they will go outside, so they might want a hoodie or sweatpants, and they will need sneakers. So there are no uniforms. They'll be expected to bring their own. How do we sign up for clubs and activities? We will do a clubs and activities presentation, and then the first couple weeks of school, we'll get something out to you about what is available. And when it comes available, there will be announcements in the morning that you watch. So you'll see stuff on there about new clubs and activities and meetings you can go to. But we'll also get information out to your teachers, your homeroom teachers. Our class size is smaller to accommodate social distancing. Class sizes are what they are. We are in full in-person, which means we have 600 students coming to Case Middle School. We are balancing them the best that we can, but still required to get the needed classes and coursework in for each student. So our teachers are to the best extent possible, separating those desks to 3 feet. As much as they can. Do 8th graders have classes with 7th graders? That's a possibility. PE is 7th and 8th graders combined. If you're in chorus or band, that would be 7th and 8th graders combined. I think most other classes will be separated, 7th graders in their own classes, 8th graders in their own classes. What happens if we forget our locker combination? Your homeroom teacher might be able to help you with that. It will be on your schedule. So if you keep the printed copy of your schedule that your homeroom teacher gives you, it's right on there. You should write it down in a good place too. If your homeroom teacher can't help you, then we can always help you down in the office. Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Griffin get that question all the time, so they are ready to give you your locker combination. What if you can't walk, like you are on crutches or a wheelchair? Yes, so we do have students sometimes that have to walk on crutches. Maybe they break their ankle or something happens. We can get a elevator pass. And that elevator is right in that main lobby area next to the nurse's office. And it goes right up by the main stairwell. You just need to talk to the nurse about using the elevator. What about if someone needs to go to the restroom between classes? So I would recommend getting to your next teacher and saying, Mrs. King, I really would like to use the bathroom. Is now a good time? And Mrs. King will say, no, I'm going to ask you to come in for a few minutes. We're going to get started and then I'll send you to the bathroom. Or she's going to say, wow, thank you for asking between classes. Why don't you go quickly and I'll see you at the beginning of class. So let that teacher know that you're going to be a little late and she'll let you know if that's the appropriate time to go or if she'd like you to wait just a little bit longer. What's the maximum number of study halls you get? I think I only know people get 1 a day if they get that. I don't know many with 2. I can't imagine having any more than that. You guys have a lot to get done and busy, busy schedules. How do we sign up for modified sports? I believe you're going to want to go to the athletics page on the Watertown CSD website. And there's information there. You're going to need to get your physical done and do some other forms right there on the website. You'll probably need to use your student Google account to sign in and complete the forms on the website. If you haven't done that by the first day of school, you're going to want to go see the school nurse right away and see what you need to do to get signed up. So the school nurse will have that information, but try to do that before you come on Tuesday because I know those sports are trying to get started on the first day of school. If we are in chorus and don't want to be in chorus, can we drop out? We would ask that you have a note signed by your parent if you are not going to be doing chorus or band. Can you have your cell phones throughout the day? That's a great question. Thank you, Brooklyn, for bringing that one up. Okay, yes, you can have your cell phone. We're going to ask that you keep your cell phone off and you put it away. So that's another important reason to have that backpack with you. Have it packed away in your backpack. Okay, and have it turned off. Nobody wants it ringing in class. When will you be able to use your cell phone? You should have time during the lunch period to pull that cell phone out and use it appropriately. Use it appropriately means we're not taking pictures, we're not taking videos. Okay, you can send text messages. You could jump on your social media as long as you're using that appropriately. But lunchtime is the only time during the school day where you'll be given an opportunity to do that. Unless a teacher needs you to get it out to play some silly Kahoot game during the day or something, which usually we just do that on our Chromebooks. If school shuts down again, in worst case situation, will there be hybrid or virtual learning? Or if a student must quarantine due to COVID exposure? So all of our teachers are prepared to set up a Google Classroom, and they're going to get all of our students onto those Google Classrooms early in the school year. So they're ready just in case something happens. We want our kids here in the building as much as possible. Okay. But we also want them to be prepared if there is a shutdown and we automatically go remote, like happened 2 years ago and then happened again in January. We don't get a lot of time to prepare for that. So we're going to be as prepared in advance just in case it has to happen, that they're able to jump on those Google Classrooms and get all the information that they need. We don't know what's to come with remote learning or hybrid learning or any of that. Right now, we know that Tuesday, we get to come back full in person and we're going to take advantage of that time with your child. If your child is quarantined for an extended period of time, they will be able to get on the Google Classroom, see what lesson objectives are up, so what was covered in the lesson that day, and what assignments might need to be completed. And that way they'll be able to keep up with what they were learning in class. It won't be, at this time, it won't be quite as full lessons as it was last year because we're all full in person, but at least they'll be able to keep up with the pace of the class. Do we carry backpacks with us all day? You don't have to carry them with you all day, but you can. And we appreciate if you carry them with you, just because we know that your Chromebook is tucked away a little safer than if you're carrying it down the hallway. And also, if you have that cell phone with you, we don't want to see that cell phone out while you're walking around the hallway. So you're definitely going to want that packed away. So you don't have to carry your backpack all day, but you certainly can. How much time between passing periods? 3 minutes. I did cover that. What if you have a lock for your locker? You do not need a lock for your locker. All of the lockers have combinations, and so we're all set with that. Will we get detention or no? We do have an after-school detention as one of our consequences. That goes from 2:30 to 4 p.m. And then there is a late bus at 4 p.m. that could bring you home if you are transportable around the district. What time will we do activities, clubs? Most of our activities and clubs are going to be after school meetings. So that would again be the 2:30 to 4 o'clock, and then you'd be able to get on that 4 o'clock bus. What instruments are there in band? That's an awesome question. I think there's a lot of instruments. Mr. Taylor, do you have a better idea of what instruments are in the band?
Sure, we've got all kinds of instruments, all the brass instruments, trumpets, French horns, trombones, tubas, clarinets, flutes, woodwinds, drums, percussion. We've got everything. So if you're interested in band and you're not in it already, you're going to have to reach out to Mr. Hurst, who is our band and our instrument director.
When we switch classes, do we take our book bags? I recommend you carry that book bag with you all day long. How long will we be in each class? Each class is 39 minutes. So you spend 39 minutes in a class and then you switch for 3 minutes. We have received permission for accelerated classes. So any permission slips that you have received or will be receiving, just turn in to the main office. If you got that accelerated class letter, yeah, they'll be assigned to those classes to get the school year started. And then we'll be reaching out just to confirm that you want them in that class. But yes, if they received the accelerated class letter, they have been assigned to that class. Are we going to do full week? Yes, you come in every day, Monday through Friday. Next week, it'll be Tuesday through Friday, but after that, it'll be Monday through Friday. Every single day, every student comes. If we do have to stay home, will there be Zooms? No, there will not be Zooms. If you have to stay home, you should get onto your Google Classroom just to take a peek at what they covered that day. And if there's assignments that you can work on just to keep up. Do we have a locker for gym? Yes, you will be given a locker in the girls' or boys' locker room, and you can leave your sneakers and your gym clothes in there. What time are modified sports practices? Most of them are going to be 2:30 to 4:30 or 5 p.m. Everything should be wrapped up usually by 5 p.m. for most modified sports, but you can reach out to the athletic office for more details on what specific sports you plan on doing. Will we have to do any concerts? We have not posted concerts necessarily. We are planning on trying to have them at this point, but we aren't certain if we're going to be able to with the physical distancing and where we're at right now. And is there SAC? No, we do not have SAC at Case or the high school. How long do we have SAC,
but
go ahead, Mr. Taylor.
Sorry, we don't have SAC, but 4-H offers a great program that's every day after school until 4 o'clock. And if that's something that you're interested in, you can go to our website or reach out to us and we'll help connect you with them. It's an awesome program that does STEM activities and all kinds of fun things. I know they had a similar program up at Wiley. So if your child did it up there, it's kind of a continuation of that. So that might be something that you want to look into because it's awesome.
How long do we have to change for gym? You're going to want to go over the rules and routines with Coach Williams and Coach Peters. They'll give you more specifics about when they expect you to be either in the gym or in the locker room, and when they expect you to be out of the locker room and back into the gym. Is there a gender neutral changing room for non-binary people? Yes, we have a few different spots in the building that are all gender restrooms. So you could certainly use one of those. Just communicate that with, if you're talking about specifically changing for PE, you're going to want to communicate that with Coach Peters and Coach Williams, and they'll support you however we need to. What kind of clubs do we have here? We have yearbook. We have, Mr. Taylor, help me out. What do we got?
Student council, SAD. You're going to get all that information on the first day of school. When we're bringing you around through tours, you're going to get introduced to all that specific stuff that you've got options. A lot going on here at Case Middle School.
We have a Gay Straight Alliance, and we're kind of blanking on that because we didn't really get to have many clubs the past couple of years with COVID. But it is our goal to try to get those up and running. And so as we get them up and running, we will introduce you to more. What happens if you overheat in your mask? If you are feeling very uncomfortable in your mask, please let your teacher know that, okay? They can get you to a certain space to have a mask break if that's all you need, or maybe you need more, you need to go down to the nurse and lay down for a little while. But you just need to talk to your teacher about it, all right? Keep the mask on while you're talking to the teacher, and then you guys together can decide what it is you need to be safe. Do we have a violin in the band?
Nope. No violin, no orchestra.
Can we wear shorts? Yes, you are allowed to wear shorts. Just make sure they are an appropriate length. About mid-thigh length is appropriate. I don't see, I think we covered all the questions there. Oh. Do we have a saxophone? I believe we do have
saxes. There's saxophones in the band. Yep.
Do we have a dress code? Yes, there is a dress code. The student handbook, I believe, should be up on the Case website, but you will get a copy of it from your homeroom teacher on Tuesday, where they'll probably go over the dress code there. For sports, do we have to wear a mask during games? I believe now, any outdoor activity, they do not have them wearing a mask. Is that correct, Mr. Taylor?
That's correct.
Okay, anything outdoors right now, they don't have a mask. I do expect when they come back into the gyms, like for basketball and volleyball, I do expect they'll probably have masks on at that point. Do we get breaks throughout the day or just lunch? Really, it's just your lunch break. You'll go class to class, 3 minutes between each class. You'll have a lunch period, either 6th, 7th, or 8th period. You'll go all the way to 10th period, and then the day is over. Can we borrow instruments from the school?
Yes. Yep.
Can you?
For sure. If you got any if you got any music questions, you might want to email Mr. Hurst. Stephen Hurst is his name, and just send him an email to give him a heads up of what you're thinking. Sometimes it's a challenge if you haven't played an instrument before, depending on your musical knowledge. Sometimes it's harder to start right out with that.
Yep. Can you wear baggy clothes? Yes, you can wear baggy clothes. One determination that we'll probably decide there is, are they safe? Or are they too baggy that you're not safe? Is there student council? Yes, there is student council. Are there any dances? We would like to have dances this year. We're not sure if we're going to be able to. Usually our first one is right around Halloween. So we will look forward to that and see if it's something we're going to be able to do. No, there's not an orchestra here. Do we have to wear a mask for PE? Yes, if you are inside, you will be wearing a mask for PE. When you're outside, you will not. Is there any political talk? I don't know exactly what that means. I mean, our teachers will hopefully offer a lot of different viewpoints on things, but I don't think that they'll necessarily go side to side and get into political conversations with students or really allow too much of that to go too far. But again, they'll offer a lot of different viewpoints and a lot of diverse viewpoints based on whatever we're teaching during that time. Can you wear tank tops? No spaghetti straps, just make sure it's a thick strapped tank top or a sleeveless shirt. Definitely no tube tops or tube top dresses unless you have a sweater on over the top. While we do work quietly, can we listen to music? That is going to be up to your teacher. Are there still teams the students are sorted into? Yes, every student will be on a team, which means they have the same 4 core teachers. Will we have plays, musicals? Right now, we are planning on having The Lion King as our musical. And will the school do anything about bullying? If you have any bullying issues, please, please, please let Mr. Taylor or I know so we can support you or your student with that. Mr. Taylor, go ahead and take it away.
All right. I just, again, I want to tell you that we are pleased that you're here. We're sorry you can't be here in person today, but we can't wait for this hallway down here outside the office to be bustling with all these students and their chats. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be yet another different year. It's not going to be normal. It's not going to be like last year. It seems like every year we're going to is going to be new and different. But I can tell you right now that you've got a couple administrators right here that care about their kids, and we've got tons of teachers in this building that care about you and your parents and want to make this a great experience. We know being a 7th and 8th grader, being a teenager, it's a tough time. It's a tough time. It's challenging. You're trying to figure out everything in the world, and we are here to help you. The staff at Case Middle School is committed to helping you become the best young person you can be. A really important thing for me, and I know for Mrs. Blair, we want you to be kind. We want you to be kind to each other. Yes, we want you to learn math and science and English and social studies and all that stuff, but our main focus is how we treat other people. We're going to be respectful. We're going to be kind. This is going to be a great place. We're going to have a super, super awesome year. I see there's, one more question. Do we get our own emails? You will get it just like last year. You're going to have a school email that will be a really good way for you to communicate with your teachers. Mrs. Blair and I both have emails. You can communicate with us like that if you have questions. This is a great school. We're glad to have you here. If after this ends, you have more questions, you know what? Send Mrs. Blair or Mr. Taylor an email. Shoot us an email and we'll probably call you. We might not even email you back. We might call you right back, and we'll chat and we'll make sure. I know coming to Case, it's a big building, but once you figure it out, it's really pretty easy. But I'll tell you what, 3 minutes between classes is not a long time. You don't have time to just chill with your friends during class. You have time to chill with your friends, maybe during lunch, maybe in the morning when you're in the auditorium or the gymnasium. You got to get moving and get to your class because we got a lot of learning. We're going to have a lot of fun here. It's going to be a great year. So on behalf of Mrs. Blair and myself, I want to tell you, have a great 3 or 4 days. Get a lot of rest Monday night because giddy up Tuesday night, we are going to start and we are going to have a great 21-22 school year here at Case Middle School. Peace out.